The Babylonian, a hot Egyptian dawn. The rippling air is a thick, heavy blanket, and pyramids poke up on the horizon like tucked-in toes. Date palms wilt in the haze, their fruit oozing. And into this stillness over the dunes buzzes the brewer. But this isn't the brewer we're familiar with. It isn't a cahart-clad, rubber-booted cellarman or a fermentation specialist in goggles and lab coats. It isn't a monk in an abbey or a beer baron lording over his humming Milwaukee factory. This brewer is older than all of them. This brewer is primordial. This brewer is a fly. Stuck in the hairs of his hirsute insect legs, this fly carries precious cargo. Spores of Saccharomyces cerevisiae, otherwise known as beer yeast. As any brewer, human that is, will tell you, we don't really make beer. Yeast does. Brewers set the stage. But for the performance, the transformation of grains, hops, and water into bubbly booze, we must credit this humble, hard-working microorganism. Those spores are the key to our story. Let's get introduced. Beer yeast breeds oxygen, eats saccharides like glucose and maltose, and produces alcohol, carbon dioxide, and a host of other chemicals including flavorful and aromatic compounds called esters. The fungus lives on sugar and thrives anywhere it can find it, which is to say nearly everywhere. The soft white fuzz on past their prime fruits is an off-site example of a flourishing Saccharomyces colony in the wild. It's ubiquitous and its role is crucial, but for years its identity remained a mystery. Anything sweet will ferment under the right conditions. The juice from one of those sun-plumbed Egyptian dates, for example, will attract spores of yeast and bacteria from the air or passing insects swooping in for a snack and slowly bubble into wine. A broth of barley, wheat, or rye, malt tea that human brewers call worts, will turn to beer. Brewers eventually learn through trial and error to reproduce those warm, oxygen-rich environments Saccharomyces like best, but for centuries they were unaware of to what exactly or to whom they were giving a home. Taming that wild bug and putting it to work has troubled and tormented brewers since time immemorial, inspiring poems, songs, libraries of how-to books, and plenty of prayers and curses. Beer fermented as if by magic, and its making was the purview of gods and goddesses, governed not by science but by ritual and faith. Today things are different. Brewers not only know what Saccharomyces are, but more than that, they know how to control them. Yeast still technically makes beer. It just does so on our terms. By adjusting temperature, time, oxygen levels, even air pressure, brewers can manipulate fermentations to produce, say, the deep fruity notes of Abbey-style doubles, the crisp black pepper crackle of Saisons, the airy refreshment of Pilsner. They even know how to breed proprietary Saccharomyces subspecies with their own characteristic flavor profiles, from Rogue's high-powered extra-dry Pac-Man to Alchemist's citrusy Conan. Developing those skills took time. Brewing beer is about taking control of nature, about taming that spore, transforming the raw into the cooked. The brewer's tale is the story of that transformation, and how ultimately it transformed us. This is the story that fly carried, a story I chased, and I had company, because hot on that fly's yeast-studded heels ran another brewer, human this time, named Sam Calagione. Sam had traveled to Egypt, 6,000 miles away from his Delaware brewery, Dogfish Head, to recreate a long-lost beer, one of the first ever made in fact. He went there to gather ingredients, emmerwheats, palm fruits, chamomile, and the key to it all, native Nile Delta microflora.